Hello, Rocketeers, and welcome back. I hope you're doing well. And it is Spirit Week, and today is Rocketeer Day. It's your day, Rocketeer. Do you have your Rocketeer collars on? No? Well, go put some on. Mr. Santos got the Rocketeer swag, and I'm ready to go. So let's get started. Alright, Rocketeers. So yesterday, we were trying to find the biggest difference. So the biggest difference was this. Biggest difference. So the biggest difference was a number. So number. And another number. This is another way to show that you're talking about numbers. This is the word. This is a sign. And the biggest number means that you wanted to find the number with the biggest gap in between. So the biggest number would go right here in the middle. So the biggest gap. Well, today, we'll be looking for the smallest difference. Smallest. What does that mean? So the smallest difference would be something like this. So a number, and then another number, but the gap, this gap right here in the middle, in between, would be the smallest. Okay? So, for example, if we have 100, we want to find a number that has the smallest gap, the smallest difference in between them. So 100, the smallest gap here would be 101. But that's pretty hard to do. Maybe you'll get lucky when you're flipping your cards, but the goal is to find the smallest difference. Smallest difference. So let's say I flip my cards and I get 101. So then I want to try to get the smallest number on this side, on the opposite side. So let's say I'm flipping my cards and I get 120. So the difference between 101 and 120 would be 19. So that is a pretty small difference, okay? Where here you're looking for the biggest difference. Now we're looking for the smallest difference. Okay? So now that you understand biggest and smallest, today we'll be looking for the smallest. So let me get my cards and a couple pieces of paper and we'll get started. Okay, Rocketeers, I'm ready to start. I have a new piece of paper. I got my cards ready to go and I got my writing instrument. So what is the next step we need to do? Right, remove all the extra cards. And the extra cards are correct. Number 10, Jack, Queen, and Jokers. Okay, all we want is the King for our number 0 and Ace through 9 because that's how we're doing this activity today. So I'll go ahead and do that now. You should do the same thing, okay? So do that. I got my cards ready to go. I'll put them in the box so they're not in the way. I'll go ahead and put the box right here. And I'll shuffle it real quick so I make sure I get good numbers. One time for me is enough because I shuffled it many times already. So here's what we're going to do. The smallest number. I'm going to draw my rows, 2 rows. And I'm going to do a small number here and another number here. It doesn't really matter which order you put them in, biggest or smaller. All you're looking for is the smallest gap, the smallest difference. Can you say difference? Good, difference. The smallest difference between one number and another. So let's get started by flipping a card. And the first card I pick is 0. I'm going to go ahead and put my 0 right here today. I'll flip another card, ace. So ace is a small number because ace is equivalent to 1. That's right. And then I get a 5. I'll put my 5 right here. Put my 7 right here. 7 is a high number, so I want the smallest gap between two numbers. So I'm going to use the strategy to put my cards right here, the smaller numbers right here. So that way I have more chances of getting a small number. And look at that. Number 2, 1. So 0, 1, and 2 are very small numbers. So I know if I put my 2 right over here in the hundreds place, I will get a small difference. The smallest difference is what you're looking for. So now I flip another card and it's an 8. But it doesn't matter, Rocketeers, because look at this. I made sure that I took care of my hundreds. And look at this. 185. How much do we need to get to 207? What's the difference right here between these two numbers? So let's check together, okay? So if I add 5 right here, plus 5 to 185, that's 190. So if how much do I need to get to 200? Plus 10, right? Plus 10 equals to 200. Plus, what do I need from 200? How many ones do I need to get to 7? Correct. I only need 7 ones equals to 207. So look at this. We added 5 plus 10 plus 7. So if we add up 5 plus 10 plus 7, what does that equals to? So I know that this is 15. And then plus 7, I know that that equals to 22, Rocketeers. So the difference here between these two numbers, so the difference between 185 and 207 is 22. Do you see? Because I have 185 and 207. So this difference here, the difference is 22, Rocketeers. Let's try one more time. So I'll flip a card. You need your rows. So I'll put my 0 right here. I'll put my 8. 8 is a high card, so I'll put it here. 6 is somewhat in the middle, so I'm going to go right there. 2. Now 2 is a small difference, okay? So I'll put my 2 right there. 7 is a high number. And 9. That is the highest number in the game. And the only place I have left is right there. So I'll put 9. And Rocketeers, right off the bat, I can see that this is not a smallest difference. Because, look at this. How many hundreds are they apart? Apart. Apart. Apart mean how far apart is a number from the other number. So look at this. This is 200s, right? 200s. And this is 900s. So that means that there are 700s difference between 200 and 900. So you see right here, this works. This is what you want every time. Smallest difference. So you want the smallest difference. The difference between 207 and 185 is only 22, Rocketeers. This here does not work. You want the smallest difference, okay? So now it's your turn. And I'm going to flip this paper over so you can see. I want you to do a lot of times, okay? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can do with one piece of paper, you can do at least 12 times. And if you use the front and the back of the paper, you can do how many times, Rocketeers? Think about this. Think about it. So let's look at it together if you're not sure. I have 12 squares on one side, and I have 2 sides of my paper. So if you think about it, that means it's 12 squares times 2 sides. So 12 squares and then 2 sides. What does that equal to, Rocketeers? That's right, 24 times. You should do this activity at least 24 times. Use the front and the back of your paper to do it, okay? I don't want you to do it once or twice or 3 times. I want you to do at least 24 times, okay? So go ahead and get started on this, Rocketeers. All right, Rocketeers, that is it for our lesson today, our activity. I hope you have fun doing it. I can't wait to see what your smallest difference will be. So let me know in the comments below. I would love to see who gets the smallest difference, okay? And also, tomorrow you start spring break. I want you to have fun over spring break. Do lots of things. Post pictures. Tag me. Whatever you want to do, let me know. I'll be over here in my house. I'll be enjoying spring break too. So if you want to say hello, just stop by. I'm always happy to hear from you. And let's see. One more thing before I go. Miss Ochoa, if you're watching this video, hook me up with some swag because this is like 3 sizes bigger. But who knows? By the time distance learning is over, it might actually fit me. All right, Rocketeers, have a good one.